Hey guys, this is Jared and Mike, a Noob and a Ninja. We've been gone for a while, but happy to be back. We're trading the markets today, and if anybody's in this market right now, they know it's quite choppy if you're trading in the indexes, and hopefully you're trading metals and you're long because if you're short silver or gold or platinum right now, you are getting destroyed. So, welcome back. Glad to have you guys here, and yeah, let's get into it.
Great. Yeah, this market's definitely flying. It's definitely scary to trade. Unlike like you mentioned, silver and gold that just seem to keep going up.
Yeah, I mean, right now, just based on what I'm seeing, I think gold is definitely headed for 5,000. Um, it could potentially hit 4,800 today, just the way it's moving. It's been kind of straight up after its initial consolidation yesterday. Silver at new all-time highs around 94, 95. The only metal that's down right now is copper, but still up on the kind of the month average. So um, platinum about to make new highs. I don't see why platinum won't go now. So been very interesting to say the least. I think with the things going on with more tariff talk, with this now ridiculous position that we have to take over a country and take over territory in Greenland. Um, I think the market does not like uncertainty, and right now we have plenty of uncertainty going around.
Yeah, we really do. The only thing certain is that things are going to be chaotic for a bit. For sure.
Yeah, I think at some point there'll be a rotation out of these metals, but it isn't anytime soon. Right now, the bulls are on parade, and people continue kind of their movement. We have a really interesting week ahead of us. Tonight we get Netflix earnings. That should help move some of the tech. They had a bad quarter last quarter, so we'll see if they can bounce back. Later this week on Thursday, we have PCE, which is a key indicator for the Fed, as well as a GDP print. So that should be able to help move the market. Yesterday being a shortened day, you can kind of get gyration because some people didn't even trade yesterday. Some uh, platforms and brokerages considered all of yesterday an overnight session. Some considered it a whole different day. So there could be some discrepancies there as far as some of the mutual funds might not have been able to trade yesterday, and with the additional news kind of has the market flying around trying to figure out where it wants to be priced. um, what I'm seeing is we have a little bit of a bounce in the futures, but in the index futures, but it's certainly not trending in either direction. So if you are a range trader, today is a good day for you. And if you're a trend trader, I would look towards gold or silver if you're trading futures, or individual stocks. The other thing I want to quickly note is when you have a large, most again, people considered yesterday either a shortened trading session or and completely an overnight session. So really, you can look at today as having a large gap down. And whenever there is a substantial gap of more than 20 points in the ES, you can generally say that gaps, although they frequently fill, don't really fill on days when it's such a large gap. So right now we're having an attempt back, on the upside to fill some of the gap, but I don't see any strength. ES is much weaker. You have staples, energy, real estate, materials all uh, down significantly from the open. Most of the other sectors are flat, um, and things are kind of trending back down. We haven't had a positive tick reading in S&P 500 or the Nasdaq 100, so majority of the stocks are ticking down and continuing to tick down, and the number of stocks that are advancing versus declining are significantly lower. So if you have to go bias, I would say you want to look to the short side. Um, I'm looking at some things. I got long a little bit of Meta this morning. I thought it was kind of an unnecessary flush. And I think anyone that wants to sell ahead of earnings next week is doing so. And so I think there should be some sort of a relief rally here in some of these tech names that have been beaten up over the last few days.
Yeah, you know, I'm encouraged by Meta's deal that they just struck with Aqua a couple weeks back. So super exciting for both companies. But yeah, I do think I would look for the downside today, but for how long? Because I think uh, a lot of this selling pressure is because of concerns geopolitically, and you know, is our dollar weakening? Yes, but does that
Mm-hmm.
mean you could sell stock? And not necessarily. So I think what you're seeing is metals flying for concerns of our dollar weakening, and in the future, it seems like it'll be used less as a reserve currency. If you look at now some of the things that are happening with the EU, as far as Greenland's concerned, and I could go on. So I think that's
Yeah.
why you're seeing silver and gold flying. I think that's why you're seeing a dip in the market, especially with this tariff talk, and the fact that usually rising tariffs lead to more inflation. If your BMW or your Audi's going to cost you 25% more this summer, that's not a good thing as far as what your dollar is concerned. Um, but again, if the dollar is weakening, you want to own things versus hold cash. And one of those things you want to own is stock. So I think we'll get a dip here with some concerns, but I do suspect by tomorrow some of that gets bought up. Today, I would look for us to probably keep going down for the Fed.
Yeah, I actually did just get in a little bit of a long here in NQ. I am targeting just above 300, 25,300. Um, it is looking like it wants to kind of go tag that level again, but there's definitely selling before it. Um, the moves have been strong, so I want to kind of let this work as we get back into the 90s. Now we're kind of giving it back. Um, I am going to look towards, if this is a failure, I'm going to look towards getting long in gold. I think gold's going to continue to go, if not into the evening hours. And I'm about to get stopped out. Um, this is just probably a market I need to get out of. It's just flying all around in the wrong direction. Um,
It's pretty choppy. I'm looking.
yeah,
I would love a recovery so that I can go short. But like you said, a lot of selling happens on the way up. It's choppy.
yeah, this
Are you
is just
still in the
really
trade?
choppy. Yeah, I'm still in. My stop is around 60. I'm down about 250 in there right now. Um, it's not looking good, but I'm just going to let it work. Um, we're right around the bottom of yesterday's value area. That's kind of my interesting point of entry. Um, but this is just really trash. I should just avoid this. Um, but seeing that I'm in the trade already, I'm just going to go ahead and let this work. We are getting some movement in ticks. Um, price is not following yet, so let's see here if we can get a positive tick read. I think if anything, we'll probably get a flush that'll stop me out, and then it'll go in the direction. Um, it's just very choppy. Um, getting some kind of upward movement. If we're looking at NQ here, I'm kind of stopped out at what I say 60, so just about stopped out here, just below VWAP, which is looks like VWAP's around 63. So we'll see if we can get a natural bounce here. And I'm targeting, like I said, up above the 300. So we set an alert here. That's kind of my target.
you
and
go. A little
I'm
bounce. Do you ever move your stop loss to break even? I did that today and kept getting stopped out. But just
yeah, today would definitely be a day to do it. I so one thing I've been working on as a trader is that if I'm oh god, one tick away from closing me out. That's fucking brutal. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my god. One tick, I'm about to get stopped out now. That is just insane. Oh, that's the worst feeling in the world. I didn't move my. I was gonna take profit, and now I'm about to get stopped out for a substantial loss. Oh, that is sickening. I should have had it right at 300, and I guess my stop was. Let's see where my stop is. 303 and a quarter, and the high was 303 and a quarter. So that's that. I'm trading with a real brokerage account, so that's a great example of like, even if price is tagged, I didn't get filled, which is shit because now I'm stopped out.
geez.
Damn, that's a huge swing for me. Not technically stopped out yet. I've got two ticks of life, and I'm just about dead. That is just brutal. I'm done trading after that one. That's a punch to the gut for me. Absolutely brutal. Hit my target, but I just didn't. Up there, I'm stopped out. All right, well, that's enough for me. My one of my bots here on NQ is getting short anyways, so uh, I blame that on Thinkorswim a little bit. I was trading on my real brokerage account, and if it was probably in my prop firm, I probably would have been able to just flatten that. I don't know why I didn't just click flatten. Uh, Whenever I see it get that close, I usually just try to take profit, but it is what it is. I mean, it's going to be a big red day for me in my real brokerage account, but I don't want to make it any worse than it is. Um, just want to be able to bounce back tomorrow. So,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's the nature
bounce
of it.
back tomorrow. Um, and it happened so fast too. I mean, it went up, and then it's not like you could have. I mean, maybe you could have moved your stop up like real quickly, but man, it tagged that level and then immediately got back down to you. It took like 2 seconds to go back down.
Yeah, looking at hindsight being 2020, what I was trying to just move my take profit, and I should have just hit the flat and all and just let the market take me out for market and just captured whatever I could. Um, that's a lesson learned. Um, just need to kind of be more cognizant and not so stressed. Um, but seeing that I wanted it to get above 300, why my target was at 303 is kind of beyond me. I should have been right at that 300 mark, and it would have filled me. Um, so we'll see. But clearly, the trend is down. The trend is your friend. Um, so if anything, just keep your stops tight today and see what you can do. Um, okay, I was able to capture some of that back. I got about 400 in that trade. Got a little
Good.
greedy going long, but I know I said kind of the trend is down. We have now positive tick readings in. This is a big buying candle here, guys. Uh,
Oh, it is.
that's kind of what I was waiting for, and you can see, this is one of those things where, um, thankfully, when I see myself getting stopped out, and that's kind of right where the turnaround is. I should have probably had my stop a little bit below the 60s, um, and I would have easily filled. So now, in my opinion, I think we're headed up to 400 in NQ. I know you can't really. Let's pull this chart up and get it so we can all see. Okay, so you can see here, like my bot had a losing trade, and now it's entered into a long with targeting level above high of the day. So that's a nice risk to reward there. We also are like right back in at the point of control from yesterday. I don't know if that's yesterday's value area or if it's Friday's, but I would argue we're going to probably go to 400 now in NQ before we give back any. But today's been very choppy, so we could go all the way up to 400 and back to 200 in a matter of minutes. Um, Seeing a little bit of selling in metals, copper low of the day, silver giving back some of it, gold giving back a little bit. This kind of just looks like some profit taking in metals. Um, we'll see. Obviously, indexes and the metals are negatively correlated. And so, if we see a big jump in the indexes, it makes sense that some of the metals are selling off a bit.
Yep, that would make sense. I'm monitoring things here, and probably now that we're at the high of the session or close to it, I'll be looking for a short entry if it starts getting some resistance. I'm not going to try to catch a falling knife, or in this case, a rising knife, but I am looking for a short here once you start seeing it struggle to keep going up right around this level.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
And if it breaks through, it
there you
breaks
go.
through, and then I don't need that to anticipate.
Whatever you just did, I think your mic was working a lot better there for a second.
Oh,
I'm getting some weird feedback on your end, but regardless, I want to take the opportunity to remind you guys this is for entertainment purposes only. We are not giving any financial advice, and we are primarily trading on prop firms, and you can check out the latest prop firm offers and the best deals from reputable companies, not shady companies like Funding Ticks that just went out of business this weekend, and Apex that continues to block good traders and get rid of affiliate connections with anyone that isn't, sending them all kinds of newbies. And, the company continues to basically reaffirm why they're moving to our do not trade list. And the other thing, just to finish this thought, is we have acquired a new domain, so we are now officially comparePropFirms.com. Pretty excited about that. Should make kind of understanding and remembering us a little bit easier, as well as finding us on a Google search. So check us out at comparePropFirms.com. We only recommend, whether we have an affiliate connection with them or not, we will put the best prop firms at the top, and we will tell you which prop firms to avoid, because nobody wants to get to a payout like if you're with Funding Ticks and then find out that they're not only going to not pay you, they're shutting down. So you got to be cognizant. Work with a company like Lucid Trading or Tradeify that continue to improve their products and pay out, and are very front facing. The CEOs of Tradeify and Funding Ticks are doing a great. Not Funding Ticks. Tradeify and Lucid are doing a great job. Front facing CEOs, improving products. So check them out. Check out the website and let us know if you guys have any questions.
yeah, I've been super happy with Lucid and some of these other companies. Apex is a dinosaur that's kind of, they got to evolve or go extinct. And I don't like the way they're evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah, Funding Ticks out of business. No surprise there after their decision.
Yeah, I give Funny Ticks some credit that they're at least trying to do some of the right things and pay out people. But like, let's say you had $1,000 in profit in a funded account. They're just like, oh, we're going to give you your money back. And if you were only at a payout threshold, will they pay out? So I think that's pretty ridiculous. They're clearly looking at their books and seeing that they're headed in the wrong direction. They manage the company wrong, and it's only their traders that have to pay for it. So that's why we always recommend to traders, use a prop firm strategically. Don't put all your eggs in one basket with only one prop firm. Work with multiple prop firms. Work with prop firms that actually pay out, and work with prop firms that are going to be there when the time comes for you to get that first payout or second or third.
So I'm short here, but I think I'm about to get stopped out.
Okay.
ES, I have my stop set at 6,900, so quite a bit of room, and I'm short down to 68. So it's a big trade. If I see some struggle to go higher here, and that's why I'm in the trade. We're at kind of highs of the session right now. NQ and then an ES, so we would really have to have a big push here to go higher. Which
Yeah.
again, it's kind of struggling here, but we'll see. I'm about to get stopped out, so I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna get stopped out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at advanced decline lines and ticks, and now we are not only positive, we're holding positive. So the trend may be up. Again, there is a general affinity, again, for when you have these large overnight moves lower. Now, in ES and NQ, we're nowhere near kind of where we even opened. The overnight activity from Sunday to today has been 100% net short. So it would make sense that at least there'd be some movement higher.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I could just get out of this trade before it catapults up.
Now you got a nice down move here in ES, so maybe you might get a little flush. Let's see what happens.
That would be nice.
But you're sitting right at highs of the day. At least you can have a tight stop if it does go here at the high of the day.
Yeah, I moved my stop to 68.97 now. This thing just does not want to. There we go. Okay, now we're getting some selling. But what we're also getting is a lot of volatility. Is whipping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing really. That's a pretty strong propulsion higher. You're definitely counter trending the move right now. I think the
Yeah,
move
I
is
just
higher.
exited the trade. I'm out.
Okay.
Down 500 on the day, which
It
is a lot for
happens.
me.
Yeah, then you're
Yeah,
gonna want to, tighten it up and consider taking a break. I mean, today's been very choppy. I'm down almost 2,000 in my account. It's been a difficult trading day, either long or short. It's very back and forth. Um, I don't know what kind of feedback I'm getting from your mic, but I'm getting a lot of. Yeah, I don't know even how to describe it, but sit back here. It's still very early in the morning, but I think the move is higher. Um, let's see, one of my bots. We got the long here in NQ. We've got a long in ES that's about to hit target. Just hit target, so that was a great bot trade. Um, looks like almost a 15-point move. So that would have been a hell of a trade in ES if you took it. Um, right now, looking at it, we see silver short, and we got a long in gold right now on the bots with a long in NQ. So, um, you know, take it for what you want. I do a lot of back testing with my bots, so I have a lot of faith in them. This gold long looks pretty good. Again, great trade, and then ES and Q about to hit target. Um, at the end of the day, we've had a pretty significant sell off. Sectors now are pretty much all green, flat or green, staples being down the most, and healthcare up almost a full percent from the open. So, healthcare is the sector you want to be in if you're trading individual stocks. And if anyone was paying attention, I said I got long Meta at 605. We're at 610 right now, and I think it's going back up. So um, I think you'll see 620 sometime this week. We have again earnings of Netflix tonight. Netflix has been beaten down from their last report. Um, and usually Netflix, this is kind of just a little insider info. Usually Netflix has about two bad reports and then it turns. So if you're thinking about getting long because they've already been beaten up, I would consider waiting till the next earnings. Um, Usually it takes about two earnings for them to flush it out, but nevertheless, a stock that has been a lot higher. I just want to see here, was in the 130s after the split, down in the 90 area. There's a lot of room to the upside. Uh, and if I'm looking back at it, it looks like actually in the last couple of years they only have one bad report followed by good reports. However, there was another gap down. All right, so I'm sitting on hands. It looks like my trade finally went to target. Again, I traded value area high. We're pretty close. But I mentioned earlier, Nasdaq going to 400 made a lot of sense, and it looks like it wants to now.
It's slowly climbing up, but I'm scared to get long, so I'm just sitting on hands too.
Nice little scalp for me there. Um, I've traded way too many contracts. Normally, I trade maybe 5 to 10 trades. I've traded 19 trades, um, down 1,800 now. Um, One thing that I know about myself is whenever I'm down, I always try to go for longer trades. So, noting that, one thing I've changed about my trading habits is I just now go for even smaller trades. So, let's say I was going for 10 points in NQ, I'll tighten that up for only targeting 5 points. And I find that, those small wins kind of give me enough confidence boost to keep going, and I keep my trades tighter so I don't, have another big move down and really do damage to my account. Essentially, it's like I'm sizing down, if you will. Um, I'm not sizing down with size, I'm sizing down with my trade targets. And so by doing so, I minimize my continued downside risk, but give myself a little bit more upside. Um, I missed my trade. My trade was to just not allow myself such a tight stop, or we talked about it earlier, but that was probably $1,000 trade for me. So we're getting some selling in here. We'll see if there's anything from it. This could just be a couple quick profit taking here, as people were targeting towards 400 and
Yeah, I imagine there'll
900.
probably be some dip buying, so I'm still kind of scared to do anything here. It's starting to go down.
Yeah, I mean, if that's an important thing for new traders to note. If you have a bias short and you're kind of have conviction in it, it's more valuable to just sit on your hands as you watch a market melt up, and maybe you'll get a trade later in the day, or you just wait for another day. Um, it's sometimes hard to change your conviction, and it can create issues as far as you know I can tell you, let's say you want to be short, right? And you decide, okay, now my bias has changed to long, and then you get stopped out. And then it's almost like you're kicking yourself twice because you're like, I knew I should have went short, right? And like
Yeah,
now, so that's, it's like a catch 22. So that's an important thing to know. One thing I like to do is take some time and, journal what's happening. Um, and get my hand off the mouse, right? Get your hand off the trigger finger, and allow yourself so you get a little bit more liquidation coming in here. Um, we'll see if we can get any decent signs of selling. But yeah, that's definitely something to be cognizant of. Is if you're short and all of a sudden you finally convince yourself to go long and then you get stopped out, it's going to cause even more emotional trading and potential issues. So if you stick with your conviction and just wait for a setup, don't force your trades.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to go short right now, but also I don't want to lose any more than 500 on the day.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, you could consider, we've got these bots running. My bot looked like it just got stopped out on a smaller short or a smaller long in NQ, but um, there's nothing wrong with, waiting for an A plus setup and saying, okay, this is my last trade. If it doesn't work out, I can close the laptop and come back another day. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
especially when it's choppy like today. I tend to stop my winners short and then let my losers run, hoping that it'll reverse course. And then when it does do a straight line like it did on that really long uh, winning streak it had,
yeah.
15 minutes ago, then I'm really, then hitting the big.
Hmm.
It's going all the way to my stop, which I'm not letting it go all the way to my big profit. So,
Yeah.
um, I'm fighting myself. I'm fighting the markets today and myself on a choppy day like this.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, right now, if we, just this is why I like to recommend people, uh, you know, work on developing other tools and resources to help, you know, keep you focused on what you're trying to do. And so, right now, noting that you're kind of at your peak of what you want to risk, then it's more beneficial to you to just walk away and come back another day and just acknowledge that today was a tough day. Not all days are tough days, but just look at the 1 minute chart right now for NQ and ES. I mean, it is same size candles right next to each other. I mean, if you're a range trader, this is a good little market right now for you. But if you're a trend trader, this is about as bad as it gets. Metals
And I'm a
continue to
trend
come.
trader.
Yeah, exactly. So, you just kind of note that what is potentially happening, as we've mentioned earlier, there's more uncertainty in the market. And the market's kind of looks like it's just waiting for, more answers. Um, I'm looking at it, and, you got Apple, I think, is a screaming buy right now at 250. Um, really nice move by um, Apple here is not Apple, sorry. Google is kind of digging out of its gap down. Um, tech gap down pretty strong today. And so, that's from the move from Sunday. So we just need to be cognizant that until you see some of these gaps start to get filled, you can't really get long. And, if they're not setting new lows of the day, you can't argue about getting short. So that could kind of be your uh, premise to call it a day or sit on hands and just wait because this is really choppy.
Yes. Yes, it is. And right now we're kind of in a consolidation area. And yes, you know, buyer beware.
Yeah.
You don't know where it's going to go. So wait till it breaks out of this, and then maybe I'll take a trade, one last trade of the day. It wouldn't be a bad idea though to just not trade anymore,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
not
I'm kind
over
of,
trade and
yeah.
risk blowing the account when there's still plenty of week left, and the market will settle in and pick a direction.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some good reports. I mean, here we go. NQ just cracked 400, and my long was originally down at 275. So if I had just had the ability to hold on to the trade, I would have had an amazing winner. But the market chopped me up, and that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just get chopped up, and even if you're right on direction, um, the market doesn't always let you get that winner. So you need to, for me, now my upside target's been hit. Um, anything long for me right now is just really bad location. Right, I had good location 100 points ago, and now if I'm getting long here, this is bad location, and the likelihood of a retracement to getting me stopped out is very high now. So I might just have to eat the loss on this today. Um, and maybe come back tonight and trade gold. Gold's been really working for me at the Asian Open. Um, we'll see. Again, from what I'm seeing, um, I do expect another leg higher. I would expect 7,800 by the end of the week. You can, come back and see if I'm right, but I just it's what I'm seeing. Um, you know, Now NQ back to 6,900, still well off. So if we want to look at some figures, um, ES closed at 69.77, and now we're still 77 points, which is a massive amount of points in that ES. So a lot of room, a lot of air to the upside, and obviously plenty of air to the downside. So as you mentioned, waiting for your time makes a lot of sense. Um, we could continue to chop around here for a while. So the smart thing to do is not force any trades and take a deeper hole. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to take a short here. It's struggling to get higher, but like you said, it definitely could. And I don't know how much more pain I can take. Already down 500. Do I want to be down 800 today? Probably.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day.
Okay. Well, I think on this stream so far, it seems like when we're done trading for the day, we're kind of done streaming, so we can wrap it up, have a shorter stream, and um, we'll check the audio and make sure everything worked out well for you guys, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. Remember to check out compareprop firms.com for all your comparison needs, find the best offers, and take advantage of them. So thanks for watching.